Good morning, friends. There's this moment in the Gospel of Mark that I keep coming back to, especially in seasons like this where anxiety feels close to the surface and uncertainty feels like it's everywhere. It's the story where the disciples are out on the Sea of Galilee in the middle of the night. The wind is blowing hard, the boat is being battered, and they are exhausted from rowing and paling water and trying everything they can do just to stay afloat. And then they see something. At first, they can't make out what it is. It looks like it's a figure walking on water, and they immediately assume it's a ghost, and we're told that they are terrified. And then the voice speaks back to them, and of course we know who it is. It's Jesus, but they don't. And the voice says, "Don't be afraid. It is I." And we can't really blame them because this is such a human reaction. You don't just see a figure walking on water, something that's so out of the ordinary, and assume that it's there to help you, especially when you are already afraid. And that's what I want to point out this morning, is that you have this situation where the disciples are genuinely afraid. Yes, there are forces that are scary, that are threatening to hurt them and tip this boat over. And then they see something else that is also scary. But these two things are not equal. One of the things genuinely has the potential to hurt them, but the other one that they assume is something to be feared is actually there to help them. And I think about the way in which we process our environments and our surroundings, especially when everything changes around us. We oftentimes look at the change and we assume that it's all bad. Everything that we're encountering that puts us out of our comfort zones and outside of the familiar, that these things are here to hurt us or to change life in a way that's going to be unpleasant. But sometimes what we might fear at first actually has saving qualities. And I was talking to someone the other day who was telling me their story, and there was a moment there in their life that was truly horrible. And as I was listening to it, all I could think about was that is such a hard thing to go through in life. But then at some point in the conversation, this person said to me, "But you know what? I wouldn't change a thing." This person was telling me about how their life had truly transformed, and who they are today is so different than anything they could have been without that major adversity in their life. And still, even if I put myself in their shoes, I would say, I would never want that to happen to me. Yes. And yet this person on the other side of this adversity was able to see something beautiful, something redemptive in what they at one point looked at and said, "No, please God, no." Life is strange that way, isn't it? And we have this opportunity sometimes to pause and reflect through the lens of the disciples or the other people in our lives. And also for many of us, stories we've experienced in our own life where we experienced challenges and moments where we felt like we had to fight and resist. And the answer is absolutely resistance at times. And yet, to be able to step back and to say, "Lord, help me see here what part of this I need to truly resist and fight against, and what part here might be my salvation in disguise. And just give me the wisdom that as I journey through this, that I might even just carry that voice in my head that says, not just that social trope that we have, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. There is truth in that. But truly some of the things that genuinely that we fear, the things that we want to push away or resist, sometimes those can be there to save us. Like the ghost out in the water that the disciples wanted to row away from as quickly as possible, and yet was there to save them. I just want to ask right now where you might need to hear this message today. I recognize it's vague. It's not necessarily touching on your specific situation. And I'm not necessarily saying that every situation is like this. And yet, there are those moments in life where what we fear most is actually there to save us. God bless you, St. John's. I'll see you on Sunday.